Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with Australian jazz singer Connie Lansberg. We talked to her on October 21st, 2020 about a host of new projects that she is involved with. She is not only a singer and storyteller, but she's also an author. This November 2020, she is releasing a new album coupled with a novel of the same name. The record will be a rousing collection of songs performed by some of Melbourne's leading musicians. She also talks about her life in music and hopes for the future. Enjoy. We're all on this planet going through a global pandemic. You have new material that has come out during this pandemic. Talk to me a little bit about your feelings on having a new project coming out during this time on the planet.
Well, it's not new. That's the thing. I wasn't going to wait a minute longer. It's connected to my book. I got a brand new publishing deal for a 3-book series based grown-up fantasy type sci-fi thing that's kind of the story of music. And this started a long time ago. And at one point, it's been through a big journey, this whole project of connecting music and books together. I was just about to self-publish, and I am not your self-publishing type. I'm not very good at organizing things. And so just as I was about to do it, out of the blue, I got this great publishing deal. And I thought, oh my God, that's fantastic. And then they said, but it could take 18 months before we publish it. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I shoved the music back and meantime did 3 more albums. So at one point I was going to put all 4 of them out together because I have more music to record. So, but I was told, no, just do them one at a time. And so the book's coming out on November 12th and the album's going to come out on November 12th. So finally the ball has started to roll and we'll just see what happens. So I've been sitting on this music for a long time, and I actually had it remixed so that all 4 albums, I sent all 4 albums over to Brian Losh in New York to have them just remixed and uniform so that I could just start rolling music out. Jazz people aren't that used to Spotify, but I got on that bandwagon, and since I have so much music recorded, I can sort of feed the machine. And so it's not really new. I've been waiting quite a long time to get this out, so it's quite a relief.
Maybe during this time between book and audio, this would be a good time to do it because people might have more latitude to delve into it.
Exactly. What are we doing? We need books. We need music. We need entertainment. We here in Melbourne, we've been in a really severe lockdown for nearly 10 months. We're not like other places. Sydney's sort of out and about. Sydney has started live gigs, as Alistair told you the other day. But in Melbourne, they're only maybe just starting to get back in a few weeks. So it's been a long, long haul, which in a way for me, I got the first draft of my second book done. So in a way, it gave me time to really get ahead of the workload of new albums and books. But yeah, I think people do need and they need stories and songs that give them hope. This is a strange time, especially politically in America. I don't really want to go into that. Yeah. But the whole thing, what's going on in the world is strange. It's strange. And people are very uncertain. And uncertainty makes people a bit nutty because human beings like a certain amount of certainty. But musicians, people in the arts, they never have certainty. So we're I think we're just a little more used to dealing with uncertainty than other people.
I agree. And I've talked a lot about that since this pandemic started, about how jazz musicians are usually thrown into the unknown and have to make something really sparkling out of it. And that's something that I think of all the arts, the jazz musicians are more inclined to kind of be hip to.
Absolutely. We have to improvise.
Yes.
At least the fellas I work with certainly do. Were you able to listen to the album at all? Did you actually receive one?
Yes, I did. I got it physically, and I listened to it.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's wonderful. And so, what I want to
That's
know.
interesting because yes,
No, go ahead.
I wasn't sure how anybody would react to this. It is different.
Yeah, it is, and I'm used to getting so much music that is there's such a plethora of music that I get that would be considered different or considered, not your standard jazz issue. So I'm used to it, and I do enjoy the deviations. I enjoy the new project. I mean, it's all art, so there's no definition. Yeah. There's no objective blanket to it. So the more subjective it can be, the better off I think sometimes we are going to be as a progressive art form.
Well, absolutely. I mean, isn't that the key to it? I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think I was pulling everything there was out of me without reference. My journey in this whole writing caper, both with books and movies and music, is to see what's in there. So I'm not interested in referencing things or being influenced, believe it or not. I really wanted to see what was in me. Not to say I have not been influenced. Of course I have, from all the books I've ever read, all the music I've ever listened to, it's all in there. But when it comes back out, it has to be all me or I'm not interested.
Let's talk about the beginnings of your music journey. Talk to me about where you were born and raised and kind of how you got into singing and music.
I was actually born in Los Angeles. I moved, or probably you can say I ran away from home and went to England, and I went to drama school in England. And then I got taken to Australia to do acting, and I never left. And at one point, the acting became problematic. There just wasn't the roles. There wasn't the writing. I didn't like it. It became, well, that's all I was ever going to be, was an actor. But then I got asked to be in a band. I got asked to come and sing with a big band. And I had been, funnily enough, I'd been listening to Sarah Vaughan. I wasn't a real jazz head or anything. I had no training in it, but I really liked her. And when I went to the big band, no rehearsal. Nobody rehearses. In Australia, nobody rehearses anything. So I got thrown in front of this big band, and it was like a train coming at me. It was this wall of sound. And I thought, oh, I'm going to be engulfed by this. It's going to be awful. But somebody recorded it, and when I heard it back, I was astounded. I thought, I don't know what it is, but I seem to be suited to this. And then I had a singing teacher. This was really where it kicked off. I had a singing teacher who said to me, "Oh, you're a jazz singer." I said, "No, I am not. I don't know anything about jazz." He goes, "Oh no, you're a jazz singer." I said, "Well, why are you saying that?" And he said, "You cannot sing on the beat." I was like, "What?" And then he gave me some standards. And for the first time, I had been singing pop music with bands. I could remember all the words, and the melodies were just beautiful to me. And that's when it started. That's when I started to fall in love with it. These pristine stories just probably opened up my appreciation for a tight, witty, story. And the words were beautiful, and the melodies made sense to me. And I never forgot the words. And I went hard. I just sort of pushed myself into the scene and learned on the job. And purely from the idea of how much I appreciated the actual stories and the melodies. I don't even know if I am a jazz singer, but I certainly appreciate the genre, and I have to work with those kind of musicians. No matter what I'm doing, I have to work with jazz guys because they have a depth and colors that other genres just can't give you. And so I got hooked. I got really hooked. That's kind of how it started.
Nice.
And,
so tell me, what do you like the best about being a musician, about being a singer?
Oh, that's it's. I have strong ideas and beliefs about music, and it's what my fantasy books, my whole series is about, is that human beings don't understand what music really is. And it is, I don't know, for people who don't sing, the act of singing itself is a joyful thing. It's the physicality of it. It's the challenge of it. It's I think it's all that deep breathing must do something really good for your brain. And the act of singing for me just is a way to communicate that is unlike any other. There's no, I have no real artifice when I sing. My intention is to tell you a story that will just engage you and delight you or make you cry. So I come at it, I think, more from a storytelling perspective, almost more than a musician, because I don't actually play anything. I play enough piano to, make the melodies and stuff. But I always start with the words. It's always a story I need to tell you, and then the story will tell me what the music is. So that's kind of how it works.
So when we do return after, COVID-19 is over with and we get back to music full force, what do you hope both the musician on the stage and the audience and the crowd realizes about this time away from live music?
Oh, I hope they realize the kind of energy they've been missing. And I hope, you see, Pythagoras said it best. The purpose of music is to make you recognize the divine in you. And it's interesting, the more I go along those lines in my shows and just throw out some of these ideas, the more intrigued people seem to be. They seem to respond to the idea that music is actually anchoring our souls into our bodies. Music is actually repairing the inner grid. They're going to feel it is what's going to happen. They're going to realize what they've been missing on an energetic level, that artists whose intention is to show you their souls, only they can do that. So they'll know it. They will feel the difference. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you this. Everyone has a perception of you, your family, your friends, your fans, but you're living your life. Who do you think you are?
I am the powerful creator of my own existence. That's what I am, as is everybody else, only I know it. I know it, and I've studied this very deeply because it also goes with my books, which are theosophical in nature, and I think some of the songs are as well. I am fully responsible. That's it. It just ends with me, and we're all like that, but it's just when things go bad, I know it's because I'm not in alignment with my gifts. And when things go well, I know that I'm doing it. And, I've got the energy needed to create. And that's who I really am. That's kind of you talk about family and friends, but I haven't got heaps of those. Sometimes it's difficult being a person who understands kind of what being human is. If you heard the song Perfect Tears, that's the song that kicked this entire thing off. The idea that maybe we're finally going to know what being human means.
Connie, thank you for taking some time out for Neon Jazz today. Stay safe and good luck with the books and the new project.
Thank you, and good luck with the election.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest authors and singers in Australia, America, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. Thanks to Connie for her time, music, and talent. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino in the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Not for you, not unless you're deep, dark down and blue.
Neon Jazz.